Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Simpletons SMP Year 1 subscriber server. I haven't been on in a little while. Last time we were here, we were struggling with these item lasers from Actually Editions. And then the server had an issue where the Actually Editions, this thing, the plant sower from Industrial Foregoing, someone had put a seed in it that it didn't like, and the server blew up. So they're recommending not to use these, but I haven't had any problems, and I've just got the basic stuff, right? So I'm not too worried. So there is that. The item laser relays, I think they work they work differently. We know they work differently than the energy relays or the fluid relays. I am not sure I'm going to be able to figure out how. I'm extremely frustrated. I have, made a whole bunch of different machines and parts. I've watched one video from Direwolf20 when he was setting up a simple item storage in his early Season 8 world. I didn't watch him use the item relays for putting stuff into machines, and that is going to be a challenge. There are machines for that. There are blocks for that. There's item interfaces, hopping item interfaces, and ESDs. I'm not quite sure how they work enough to use them, and it may just be that I'm going to need to get into Ender.io. And yes, that was a great big sigh, because it's not that I can't get into Ender.io, it's just that it's not a mod I wanted to get into this early in the pack. Again, though, I really just don't know how to do the item relays. It's making me really frustrated, and it's slowing down my progress and my desire to actually play the pack because I'm frustrated with the item lasers, okay? If I can figure out how to use the item lasers, that would be great. And we could spend some time in a creative world trying to figure them out. That is possible. Or I can do something else with power and not fight, or do something else for conduits and not fight with the item laser relays and trying to figure out how they work. So that's kind of up in the air right now. I don't know if I want to keep fighting with the item lasers to learn how they work so that I can use them, because apparently you can. They're very versatile, and you can use them to pull items out of an inventory network, out of an item network, into machines and stuff. But I can't figure out how. Hi, Folk and Dove. I mean, if I had the ESD on there. Let's go through this. I had the ESD on there. And I had an advanced item relay on there. Let's get a regular one of these too, because I learned that the advanced one is a higher priority by default than a regular one. And if I put it here, inbound would be, I am facing east. Inbound is east, but it's not detecting. It should detect these slots. When I had it up here, See, it detects it there. Why didn't it detect it from there? I'm confused. Anyway, so now that detects how many slots are in the machine. This I have an item filter for all the current seeds that we're getting from the network. See, but with the advanced one, would that be... Would I need to put the filter in here? And then I have to tell it to do slots 4 to 14. Because it doesn't, it's non-inclusive, so it'll do 5 to 13. But nothing's happening. So I'm pretty sure that the ESD doesn't like pull stuff out of the relay, out of the network. So I don't know what does. What pulls stuff out of the network? The other machine things I have that are interfaces with blocks is what I thought would work would be the hopping interface. And there's a regular interface as well. You need a compass to configure its priority. And I won't configure its priority till I can get it to work. So if we did... Oh, you know what? I need the... Where is it? Is it in you? I need the filter. The other option is this hopping item interface. If I did the advanced on top of you and put this in here... The hopping item interface interacts with blocks, and supposedly, according to this, will pull and push items on its own. But you would think that it put stuff in here. Let's check something. If I get a chest, why not jump on creative? True. And do a chest here. Either that or I start Ender IO, which I will need to go all the way up to alloy smelter before I can do item conduits, and I need Ender pearls, of which I don't have. Either that or I can do some easy stuff. Because we had found that there's cheaper power if I don't want to try and do biofuel. I could just make this an easy world and do my complicated tech learning in a different pack. Because I still have FTB Ultimate on hold that I could resume, and that of course is going to be complicated tech. Yeah. Let's create a creative world, see if I can poke around a little bit with Action Edition's lasers, and if I can't figure it out by the time I go for my feed the kitties break in about 50 minutes, then we'll find something else. Backup plan is culinary generators. I like the lasers too because it looks like it's wireless transfer if I can figure out how to get it to transfer. You can tell I've been here playing with some things, little tiles. I haven't quite figured out how everything works with little tiles, but yeah. So let's come over here. We should just get rid of everything. I don't have to be in creative. There we go. Bye-bye everything. Oh, I need the manual. Dang it. Hi, Nisi. Alright, so what we want is... we're going to grab an item interface, the hopping item interface, the ESD, wherever that is at. Am I like staring right at it? What are you? Firework block. Okay. There's the ESD. And then the lasers. Did I glance over them? Here we go. Item lasers. And we'll just use barrels since we're in here as our inventory. And then we need the can do /clear. Thank you. I don't think I'll remember that, Fokendov, but I appreciate you telling me. I probably will have to be told numerous times. And then we need the bioreactor, because that's the thing we're trying to interface with. Alright, so here is where we'll have our seeds. And it just needs a basic item relay to say, okay, here's where everything is, and let's get those seeds. We'll just use regular seeds for now. We can always do the filtering. And then how do we interface with this? Because the item relays are just an awareness tool. From what I read, just make it aware. Everything is aware. And I was pretty sure that the ESD was the way to get stuff in. But if this is not, we're gonna need a filter. Actually, since we're just doing seeds, we'll put some in there, and then, whoops. Some in there. Input, everything's unlocked, so it should easily go in if it works. Alright, so this step, this isn't working. Just a stupid thought. I want to make sure that this works in general. Okay, so that works if I used a normal hopper, but I need to then does this go here? Advanced item relay, configured to seeds. Got to click right. Instead of the item interface, the hopper interface. I just had the hopper interface there. You mean on top of the hopper? Laser on top of a regular hopper. That would be a no. What do you mean special configuration? Can you please be more specific? This to say, hey, I am input? Yeah, the laser. This inbound stuff is configured here, outbound stuff is configured here. This is the filter, and if you need more than this many slots, you have an item filter item, and this is the outbound stuff. What about a crate above a hopper? Well, I'm sure a crate above a hopper will work just fine, because it's just like slapping a chest there. But what I have is eventually 9 items that need to pull from that shipping crate into here. And I don't know how to do that. The laser on the crate. So, but this works as an inventory too. So what would be different about that? Try doing outbound. Yeah. This is outbound with a seed, and this is input with a seed. So, yeah, don't know. I don't know how this works. I mean, like, I know that if I did a whole bunch of these and a whole bunch of these and hooked them up, the network is aware of everything in all of these crates. What if it's the other way around? What just happened? Look on the crate. Remove the inbound. Okay, so why is the outbound? Oh, hang on. If this were a block that's also a conduit, I need to configure what leaves the laser relay network, not what comes in. Because the network is one gigantic chest. So I definitely want a hopping item interface because this auto pulls, according to the manual, this auto pulls and pushes stuff from the giant chest, which happens to be the item laser. And this just says these are the things that can leave the network at this junction. And this is the things that can go into the network at this junction and can leave the network at this junction. Okay, let's go back and see if I can get it to work in game, in the actual game. By the way, look, here's me. Woo! I agree. I agree the manual should make more sense. Alright, so over here we need to replace the manual, the view. Alright, and we need the bioreactor here. I don't have... So what this needs to be is it needs to be over here. And I don't think I actually need one on the crate. Well, it pulled potatoes. Even though it's got seeds, beetroot seeds, canola seeds, coffee seeds, potatoes, carrots, and rice seeds on the item filter. Beetroot seeds, rice seeds, it should have... So my next thought is, perhaps this hopper isn't what I need, and I really do need the ESD here. Yeah, it's whitelisted. And outbound is west, and I need to be 4 to 14. All right, so there's something more complex with the ESD. Use an empty blacklist in the ESD. Well, now what? Berg. Hi, Darkwing. I really don't know. I was just there and we only did one item. So once we add more items, why isn't this working the way I want it to? I mean, it does it with one item. I get potatoes, and then that's it. Oh boy. I just don't know. Just don't know what to tell you. This should not be that hard. Uh-huh. we're gonna try some a little bit more in creative, because I told you we're gonna keep figuring out this laser thing until 8 o'clock when I have to feed the cats. No, Loki. And then if by then we haven't figured everything out, we'll give up and have to go down the Endryo rabbit hole. Or abandon bioreactor altogether and do different stuff. Let's put potatoes in here as well. We'll put potatoes up here, potatoes here. Yep, nope, it can just do the one item. Alright. Advanced item relay here. And if we do there and there. So maybe the ESD does not auto push stuff. It's like a hopper. And that's all it says. Oh, wait. Still no. All of a sudden I was like, am I just being a derp? And it wasn't connected. It's still not doing anything. Are you trying to pull from the network or the machine? I'm trying to take stuff out of the chest, and put it into the ESD. The ESD works like a fancy hopper. Nothing. It works for one item, but as soon as you want to do more than one item, it's not working. Even if it were just a crate here, it's just pulling seeds. And it's pulling it from that one. So apparently, this one's not even acting as a hopper. They're configured exactly the same. See, now it's pulling potatoes, but probably because this is out of seeds. Okay, so that's a clue that it had more seeds to put in the reactor, but because the reactor only holds 16 slots, it couldn't move on to the next item. And that might just be a problem that I won't be able to get around. That would explain why it wasn't working in the other world too, because I had a whole bunch of potatoes, more than the 16 it needed. And so it was just saying, there's more potatoes to send. I need to do that before I move on to the next item. And so it's trying to be smarter than I need it to be. I needed to just follow rules. Because all this is just a regular filter. It doesn't determine how many. So yeah, I think I'm gonna throw up my hands and say I give up on you. I give up on you, item lasers. Might be useful for other purposes later on down the line, but I'm gonna have to decide if I want to do the bioreactor at all. I don't want to deal with that, Nisi, about blacklisting items I have no intention of going in there until I can whitelist and get the things I want in there to go in there. They don't. So, yeah. Alright, so here's what we need to decide, and we need to decide it soon, because I would like to have power set up and running so that I can move on to other things. They aren't technically the best item transport. We do have Ender IO conduits, but the rabbit hole to get there is quite steep. Quite steep. Which is why I've been kind of postponing doing any Ender IO, because it requires so much to get started in it. I wanted to wait to do that mid-game. Yep, we have the modern Ender IO. Which is why I thought, hey, Action Edition should be relatively early game, easy to get into, and in fact, it does have a lot of things that are really easy to get into, but item storage is probably not the thing. And I can't really use transfer nodes for the same problem that I'm going to have, that I have with this, is that it's only got one slot. So even if I put an item filter in here, if it has a whole bunch of potatoes, it's going to try to send a whole bunch of potatoes. And not send anything else. Yeah, they can be extremely fast, but again, here's the challenge I have. I slap a transfer node on my shipping crate, okay, with an item filter in it. that says only pull these things out, and I connect it to my bioreactor. And then it takes 16 potatoes and fills up this slot. Is it going to move on to seeds and rice seeds and pick all the other things? Or is it going to stop because I have 18 more potatoes in my system? And it's going to try to put those in there before it moves on to the next items. That's why these aren't working. It's because they're wanting to put all the potatoes in here before it moves on to the next thing. Yep, an Ender IO conduit. Exactly. Separate laser for output. Yeah, that would be if the lasers did something. Again, the lasers just make you aware of what's in your storage. That's all the lasers do. They're an awareness tool. They don't do any of the pulling or pushing. They just, if the advanced ones even just, you're configuring saying, these are the things you're allowed to go through the pipeline, but they don't actually do any of the actual pushing and pulling of items. Hook them up to a second item interface. That sounds like a mess. That sounds like an insane mess. Anyway, we have yet to click on our Illuminati pet this entire stream. Let's cheer ourselves up and get a random item in the game, shall we? I have an end steel nugget. Woo. Alright. I have just made a decision that I don't want to do things complicated or confusing in this pack. I want to have fun. The point is to have fun. And that means not doing... See, bioreactors would have been easy with Ender IO. So maybe if we need that much powder later on, we'll get to that much power. The point of this pack, guys, the point of this pack for me is the building that I have yet to get started on because I need to establish my base. This here is what I want to be working on for the foreseeable future, but I need power to create blocks, to feed myself, to play the game. I think I got a vibrant alloy a few streams ago, yes. That's not going to make enough conduits for me. Alright, so here's what we're doing. We're ripping out the current farm. We're gonna make an actually additions farmer because it's cheap and it will harvest at the same time. And we're gonna plant wheat, and the wheat is going to then become bread. And then we'll have to find a crafting option, an auto crafting option. Which I'm not sure what auto crafting we may have. And we're going to craft it into pizza. And we'll use the culinary generators. So all of this work, hope you guys had fun watching me make all these machines. We may still use them later on in the game, but I would really like to get something established so I can start building. I really want to do some building and I can't yet. Can't. Grr. So this farmer... We don't have Botania. No Botania. Alright, so we need an iron casing and a bunch of inori, which is a bunch of iron. We have an iron casing. Here's iron. And seeds, which I have to grab from the shipping container, I believe. That was a mess. Let's try this again. Let's go grab the seeds. Seeds. How do I have to take them out of here in order to... Yeah, that's something we're gonna have to figure out too. Because I don't have any way of accessing that yet. Until I have refined storage set up. Alright, farmer. I have not played the diversity maps. I don't have an axe. Let's get rid of you. I don't have any inventory space on me. I've been watching Etho and Vintage Beef and Pause and Pause play Diversity 3. Why are you in my offhand? Okay, I need to take everything out of here just in case when I break it. We'll leave that in there. Okay. I think it goes this way. Oh. And it's harvesting everything, so we're gonna need to put that stuff in there. Empty our inventory just a bit. Third wave is really hard. Ah, see, he hasn't done the third wave. They haven't done the third wave yet. Okay, so we're gonna just break everything. Gimme. Yep, they're in the middle of the second. Correct. Okay. And seeds are the only thing we want in there. Okay. I know I don't need the water. Now, those lasers might still be useful. I don't need an advanced one. A regular one would be fine. And actually this hopping. And let's see here. If we did this, that is pulling wheat out. I don't want it to pull seeds out though, so that might be... How many seeds do we have? We don't have enough to plant the whole farm. Okay, so we've planted that. And for now, that's awesome. We're going to break you. I need to make an axe. Where are you? Need to put potatoes in there. You. All right. Great. So we have a farm running. That's a good start. We need wheat, which means we don't really need the shipping container. We just need 2 crates, one for wheat and one for seeds. So we'll probably take that down for now and put 2 crates over there, which we can use the item relays on, the item lasers. And then we need to see about crafting. Well, we have the Ender IO crafter. We'll have refined storage later on, but we don't now. That appears to be the only thing. The simple crafter might be enough. I wonder how slow it is. So we need more advanced item relays? Or do we need just regular ones to go on top of those chests? We'll just do advanced. We need 2. 1 for seeds, 1 for wheat, which we're going to take out of here. Seeds, wheat. I have a feeling when I break you, you're just going to explode everywhere. Give me you. connect you. And that should still work. Which we'll know when things start. Oh, let's take you out. Okay, there's a wheat that it's going to harvest here in a moment. I want to make sure that it takes the seed and replants it. I think it should. I think the only output from a farmer is the stuff that goes on this side. So, yeah. Alright, let's get figured out the simple crafter. It's likely to need power, so we're going to need to bring this power over there. And we're going to craft it into bread, and then we're going to need two of them. Crafting into bread and then crafting into pizza. This stuff. Which is cheap. And then we're going to chuck it in culinary generators. I don't even think these have anything higher up, you know, like the old-fashioned ones used to have max tier sort of deals. That will be our power. Nice and easy. Pizza power! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That kind of dates me, doesn't it? Anyway, it is time to feed the cats. I am going to go do that. Give me about a couple of minutes there to do that. Then we'll come back, make 2 of the simple crafters, and get pizza power, hopefully, set up before the end of the stream. Alright, folks, I will be right back. Don't go anywhere.